Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here with Bromero Cards for Honeybee Stamps. I hope you're having a great day today. Y'all, today I'm going to be making a card using some products from the latest release from Honeybee Stamps. And we are going to be making a card that most people find really hard to make, and those are sympathy cards. They are really hard to make sometimes, but they are necessary, so we do have to, unfortunately, make these type of cards, either for pets, loved ones, friends, family, different people in your life. We definitely need these type of cards to help encourage and to show love to individuals that have lost something very important in their life. So we're going to be doing that today. Before we get started, if you could please subscribe to this channel, if you could click that notification bell so that you know new videos are coming out. Leave some comments down below. Let's have a conversation. Tell me what you think about this card, what you would have done different, all that great stuff. And then also share the love. If you feel that someone would really like this video, send it over to them. So without further ado, let's get down to the desk to see what we're going to be using today. Alrighty, so we're going to be using this embossing folder. It is called Floral Heart, and it does have a center that cuts out, which has a matching die that goes with that. So we're going to be using that today. We're going to be using the Bold Backgrounds Vintage Rose set. While we won't be using this background, we are going to be using the flowers from this. We are also going to be using the stamp set Rainbow Bridge. While this is for animals, I will be using a sentiment from here that is not related to animals for this card. And then we have some ink colors here, so we can do some ink blending brushes, and we're going to be using some black and white cardstock today. So let me go ahead and get the desk ready for the first step. Okay, so what we're going to first do is we're going to cut out all these flower pieces in white because we're going to be doing some ink blending on these, so they don't have to be in color, so we could just place them down onto the white cardstock. I think all of these will fit on one piece of paper, so hopefully that's the case. If not, I do have a second piece of paper on hand if I need it. I'm a card maker. What am I talking about? I have like a forest of paper behind me, but anywho. So we have all these onto the white cardstock. I am going to take this through the die cutting machine and I'll be right back, and then we can start doing some ink blending. Okay, so I have the petals or the flowers all laid out and how I'm going to do this. This is going to be the darker color. This is going to be, all these are going to be the dark, light, and lighter. And then we have a little bit of yellow and a green we're going to do down here. Actually, not a green. I decided to make this a darker gray color. So what I'm going to do is a gray flower, a purplish flower, and then there's going to be kind of like a cantaloupe center in this. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I think for the first flower, we are going to make this gray. So we will use the darker gray charcoal. And I want to bring our towel on the side here because I'm going to wipe this off. So we're just going to take our blending brush. We're just going to blend. And I kind of want to make it darker. So you just want to make sure that you get enough ink to get this good and covered. That looks good. It will blend in as it sits, so that's going to be fine. Let's go ahead and wipe this off a little bit. Then we're going to come in with Earl. We're going to do the same thing on the next layer. There we go. And then the last couple layers here, we're going to use flannel. And this is just going to be super light. And this is actually going to go on all of these pieces here. And what's good about using this sticky mat is it keeps things down while you're doing the ink blending. So I think this looks good, so that's perfect. And now what we're going to do is the purple flower. So we're just going to do basically the same thing here. We will take Aster We're just gonna get that covered up. That looks good. Wipe off our blending brush. Then we will take Pansy, do the next layer. And again, these will soak up as they sit. Then lastly, we'll use Petunia for the last part. I think we'll use Petunia on this one also. And then for this guy, this last one, we are going to use the darker gray. This is going to be the greenery for this smaller bud here. And then for these guys, we're just going to use Cantaloupe. And there we go. We have everything ink blended. So let me go ahead and get these taken off, and then we'll get these flowers put together as the next step. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we have all the flower petals here separated. Now we're going to start putting these together. There is a layering guide that you can use to do this. It's pretty simple. I'll just set it to the side while I use it. And basically, we are just going to start putting the flower together. So on the small parts here, I'm just going to use some liquid glue. There we go. Let me zoom in just a little bit. See if that will help. Then we have this guy. This goes here. It's just like putting a puzzle together. It's pretty cool. All right, and then this little piece goes here. Alrighty. And this piece goes here. Like I said, it's like putting a puzzle together. Everything's pretty much all marked on here, so you just have to glue everything down. And then this little piece goes here in the center. Just like that. Okay, so what I like to do is add a little dimension on these flowers. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some foam tape, and we are going to put this together that way. So first I just want to see exactly how this goes together. I think this goes this one. I'm going to have to look at the, let's see here. There we go, like that. So let's get some super thin foam strips here, you guys. Honeybee Stamps makes these. They are wonderful. I love how thin they are because you can make, you can add dimension without it being like super crazy thick. So that's nice. So we'll go ahead and put that here. Let's stick a piece there. All right, and then we'll take the foam tape off, or the backing of the foam tape, I'm sorry. And we'll get this placed down onto the first layer here. There we go. Then what we'll do is we'll put some foam tape on the back of this one. And it's going to give it a really nice layering effect. Perfect. You guys, if I can get this backing paper off. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. And then let's get this guy set down. He goes right there. And there we go. We have our first flower. So I am going to go ahead and put the remaining flowers together and we'll be back for the next process. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is cut the heart out of the black cardstock. And basically, what I need to cut the heart out first, and then we'll put some paper together here in the embossing folder to do the embossing portion of this. So basically, I want to go ahead and cut the heart out of the black. Actually, ooh, this is cutting it kind of close. This might have to be a bigger card, maybe. Not sure yet. Let's see here. So, all right, so I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine, and I'll be right back to show you what the next step is. Okay, so we have the heart cut out, and I want to do the embossing on the heart. So I'm basically just going to put this here and place it into the embossing folder where the heart should be. That looks good. All right, what I'll do is I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine. Then I'm going to take this out and then run a white piece of paper through this for the continued embossing around the sides. So we'll see what that looks like. We may not use this piece, but I'll go ahead and do it now so that we could see what it looks like. Okay, so I went ahead and run these through the die cutting machine to emboss. And as you can see, very nice. Love that. So I think what we're going to do now is go ahead and get the sentiment done. Then I believe we'll start putting the card together. So I'll be right back and we'll go ahead and do the sentiment. Okay, actually before we do the sentiment, I am going to do a little something here. And this may seem a little morbid because this is a sympathy card, but I'm going to be using this distressed mica stain called Empty Tomb. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this and just flick it onto the black cardstock. I don't know if it'll show up, but we are going to test it out to see. Just a couple little flicks. And then I'll come back, we're going to let this dry, and we'll go ahead and do the sentiment. Okay, so for the sentiment, we are going to be doing some heat embossing. So let's go ahead and get that started. I'm just using the leftover piece from where I cut out the heart. And we're just going to use our static tool here so that we can make sure that no powder sticks to the cardstock as we do this. And from this stamp set, we are going to use So Sorry for Your Loss. So we'll go ahead and place this here. It really doesn't matter where I put it because we do have a die that coordinates with this and we'll be able to cut that out. Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and use our clear embossing ink here. Get this pressed down. Don't want to press down too hard because you don't want the words to smudge. So just do a light tap and a light press, and we can do it as many times as we need to make sure that that's nice and covered. That looks good. So let's go ahead and get this moved over and then bring out our official, unofficial catcher here. And we're just going to be using some silver embossing folder here, or I'm sorry, embossing powder. All right. So that looks good. I'm going to heat emboss this, cut it out with a die, and then we'll come back and start putting the whole card together. Okay, so it's time to go ahead and start putting the card together. The first thing I'm going to do is glue down this piece down to the card base that I have made here. We'll just go use some honeybee glue ink or glue, honeybee stamps glue. This thing is starting to run out of glue, so you guys, I might have to stop the video to refill. We shall see. Well, I think we might be good. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and get this down. Make sure it's nice and even. That looks good. Then I want to place the black heart on top here, and as you can see, the empty tomb looks really good on this black piece of paper. We're going to remove the backing. I did put some foam tape back here already. And then I just want to put some liquid glue on here too, because this is going to be on raised areas. I just want to make sure that this really sticks. So we're just going to put some liquid glue on the back of this as well. And we'll go ahead and get this placed down. There we go. And then I've also placed foam tape on the back of the flowers already. So we're just going to take off the backings from that. And again, I think I would just want to put a little liquid glue on the back here. This also gives me time to like move things if I need to. So I think about right here is good. And then this going here. Then this one, I think I'm going to put maybe like right there. So I'll put a little liquid glue on the back of that. And then this one, I think instead of putting foam tape on the back, I'm just going to kind of glue that down just to the bottom part of the card there. And like do like that. Okay, all that looks good. And then we are going to place the sentiment on here and the card will be done, you guys. This is a pretty easy card. Could be easily mass produced, not that difficult. Let me make sure that this is straight. Okay, there we go. We have a sympathy card that I made using a little bit of color. I thought the yellows in the middle would just provide just a little bit of, you know, happiness at this difficult time. Just, a little hope, I guess that's what I think it represents. But I think this card looks really nice. It's simple. It's really great for a sympathy card. And you could probably even add some pearls or jewels to this if you wanted. But I wanted to keep it kind of, kind of plain since it is for a sympathy card. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Again, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you like this video, leave some comments down below, tell me what you think about the card, and also share the video if you think someone would like it. As always, the products used will be linked down in the description. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye.